just go out there like a bunch of crazed dogs.
Camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Woo! What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush, where we talk Giants football pretty much 50 weeks of the year. And for the last 10 years, it's pretty much we're talking about the same thing, and it's about losing. Giants open up their season against the Commanders in Washington, and they lose 21-6, which no one expected. They looked sad. They looked weak. Pretty much, we can take this tact. New year, same results. So we're going to dive into it. I'm going to take all your questions. I hope you guys are going to pile in the room and tell me what you guys thought of the game, because it was something that I probably wasn't prepared to see. And that was basically everything about what they did was just lame. Lame. It's I was expecting a different brand of football. I just was. I was expecting a different brand of football. I was expecting some fast-paced smash mouth football. Never got it. It never came. I would assume you're all disappointed. And I'm sure a handful of you are going to be like, yeah, but, first game, or, they got a gel, or, you know what? We're over that, people. Over it. We've been doing, all the excuses for a long time. I mean, it's just, and this year, this was a winnable game. This is a winnable game. Wanted to come out a little hot because we know how hard the schedule is. Dallas, Kansas City, and some really tough teams. So I'm disappointed. I'm sure you are. I'm going to take, if there's questions, I'm going to take some of those. I mean, right now, nobody's good. Okay? They're not all bad, but nobody's really good. What do you think? I mean, look, we could dive into anything you want. The O-line is a catastrophe. Where is the smash mouth defense that we were promised, that we've been debating on all off season? The red zone, non-existent. So where do we start? You got to start up front with the big boys. They are a no-show. Okay, year number 3 for JMS never really seems to get anything done. The biggest thing I noticed about yesterday was either A, how quick the Commanders' defensive line is, or B, how slow our offensive line is. Because it was just a debacle up front. I mean, they were slashing through gaps like crazy. Hudson was a mess. I mean, I don't know about you people. Jump into chat. Let me know what you think. I'm just tired of Andrew Thomas. Like it's not like, okay, he's good, but this cat has not played enough football. Okay. So I'm not really sure why that dude is starting. I guess they paid him to start at left tackle. It's not great. So if you're evaluating yesterday's game, Burns, Tibbs, somewhat of Carter looked okay. And then you throw it all away and, with McFadden getting hurt and Musau coming in, and wow, was he terrible. I mean, terrible. I mean, no gap integrity, always in the wrong place, getting sucked inside, missing tackles. So there's a lot wrong right now. Hey, Gino, what's up? Let's throw your comment up here. It says there's so much wrong with that game, laying it on Dable and Shane for the poor resources allocating this roster again, and our offense not being prepared for game 1. All right, so half of what you say I think is accurate. I don't think yesterday was Dable and Shane with their resources. I mean, like in 2024, they drafted a bunch of really good players that helped fill out that roster. All those guys started. last year. This year, they focused on the defense. They made the defense better, okay? So you can't fix everything at one time. So I am not agreeing with the poor resource allocation. What I am put on your side on is that the offensive line needed an upgrade, like a heavy upgrade at one position, and they kept JMS. Runyon is still basically, he's new, right? 2024 draft, last year's draft. Did I say 23? My bad. The 2024 draft is, it's Phillips and Tracy, it's Theo, that group. So apologize for that. That was getting better football players in the building. And they all started last year. So what they're doing, that class is helping us out. And this class is, but the resources were allocated to the defense. But it doesn't matter if Bowen can't dial up a high pressure to defense. Like, I understand we need to spy Daniels, but I mean, man, like, what a boring display of defense. I was expecting it to come out and be smash mouth. We got nothing, right? And then, of course, all you whiners complaining about that you don't like McFadden. Well, the guy went down and they couldn't do anything. Musau was in the wrong spot every single time. Stuck inside, missing tackles, no gap integrity at all. Couldn't scrape through traffic to make a tackle. That dude is definitely not the answer. Hoping McFadden is not severely injured. But in general, where was Dexter Lawrence? Where's the hero? Now, again, he may get a pass. No, the wife's going to have a baby, so maybe he gets a little bit of a pass. I don't know. But it was bad all the way around. Like, there was no smash mouth defense yesterday. Newbin didn't look great yesterday. Okereke didn't look good yesterday. So, I mean, maybe there's a little bit of Gino, of, getting this defense going. But again, to me, it's a lot of the same when it comes to Bowen. He's boring. He doesn't know how to dial it up. And it's an issue. Ray, why does the team lack fundamentals? Okay, Raymond, that's a big statement. I'll throw your comment up here because I do appreciate it. What kind of fundamentals are we talking about? When it comes to DBs, I know they're trying to fix a little bit of that, Raymond, like, turning their head around and so forth. I personally think it's more about scheme, and I think it's about players, going the extra yard, making plays, because Burns and Tibbs played fairly well. Carter did not play bad, but again, scheme was terrible. Thank you. Tackling. Yeah, again, the NFL doesn't – the NFL Raymond has all these rules now, like can't hit them too high, can't hit them too low. So, like, guys are afraid to actually hit and tackle dudes, right? And then, of course, they get about a bad habits. Case in point, when we have Sean on and pound out to Sean's on his way back to Florida. We might do a show tomorrow because I know he wanted to talk. Sean was at the game. I hope some of you folks got to meet him. If not, he took some video, so we'll clip that up for you guys. But Sean always brings up a good point that Okereke and McFadden have a bad habit of blowing up a block instead of scraping and shifting it off and shedding the block and making the tackle. They like to blow stuff up all the time, and it doesn't work. So a little bit of scheme. Rob's got something. What do you got for me, Rob? At this point, it's just coaches, not players. I'm ready to pound the table for Minter. I love the Ravens tree. Yeah, 100%. Like, I just, again, we already know that we're a little bit challenged, with the defensive backs. Flott's kind of a new starter. Banks has had some ups and downs. Debo's first year. But, I mean, man, like, if we just went out there and said, we were supposed to lose this game, but now there's a chance we could win this game. Like, just throw the pressure in there. I mean, again, Dexter Lawrence's head may be somewhere else. It's going to be a papa soon. So, I don't know. Expected more. Now, if you want to say the defense only held them to 21 points, timeout. That is what you are telling yourself. Because Jaden Daniels, missed 3 wide open receivers. The dude was not accurate yesterday. If he was accurate, you could put on 14 more points onto that score. So don't fool yourself into thinking, wow, our defense held them to 21 points. Jaden Daniels hurt himself and gave you 21 points. Okay. That defense was not great yesterday. They were good. They had some good moments. But hey, man, I mean, this team definitely 100% it's built on defense, but not if Bowen's going to leave everybody in no man's land. Like, why you weren't like, okay, I get the whole spy thing, I know, but dude, send the horses. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you. Yesterday should have been a smash mouth day, win or lose, which it was not. Bowen is just, again, last year we heard Carl Banks when we had him on say it. It's still a little bit of the same. He doesn't know how to do in-game adjustments. It is not his forte. But that's my rant on the defense. I'm hoping they'll come around. Praying McFadden is not hurt because Musso is a disaster. Okay, maybe he's nerves first game starting, but disaster. Literally sucked inside every single play. Always in the wrong spot. Can't scrape through traffic. But yeah, and yes, Rob, the drops, right? If you don't, we're talking about the Commanders drops, or are we talking about Giants drops? I mean, Daniels wasn't accurate, so I don't know if we're talking about pure drops or just missed passes because Daniels overthrew him. Gino says, hang on, let me look what Gino's got. Defensive bend, don't break. That game, the game was 14-6 midway quarter. Defense can improve, but this is on the offense as a whole, not being able to play complementary football. Bingo. There you go. You know what? If I can find the here, this is I know I have it in here somewhere, Gino, and this is specifically for you. Because that's exactly what it is. It's as much as the defense was not spectacular. They were not sexy. Dude, the offensive line is just pitiful. And I mean, come on, man, with this Andrew Thomas thing. How much ball is this guy not going to play? When is this guy healthy? And what are we going to do? Whether it's Bo or Illuminar, Hudson can't play left tackle. There is now tape on how to just abuse the Giants offensive line. Everyone is taking that tape and popping it in and saying, watch what happens here. Now, again, I don't know if the Commanders' defensive line is just that fast. Maybe they are. Or we're just that bad. JMS, again, disappointing. Everything up front. I mean, man, Van Roten looked terrible yesterday. Every time somebody stunned it across his face, he was out of position. Theo Johnson drops. Don't forget we targeted an offensive tackle in the red zone before our star wide receiver. We'll get there. We will get to we'll get to the red zone inefficiency. Let's start off with, again, we were expecting a different brand of football from the defense. We didn't get it. That's Bowen. Bowen is back. We should make shirts up that just say Bowen is back. We still suck. All right, because this cat is he just doesn't. And here's the thing: we're giving him a chance. But guess what he can't do? He can't pivot with in-game changes. We do exactly the same thing at kickoff as we do in the fourth quarter. He's got no ability to pivot to something when it's not working. It's a problem. Lopez, what's up, brother? Andrew Thomas is pissing me off. Yeah, it's pissing me off too. I mean, like, I'm sorry. It's just pissing me off. And it's not like, hey, I know you want him to be healthy and stuff, but like, come on, man. Get on the damn field. The team needs you. If you're making a business decision, then let's draft somebody else. Let's put someone else in there, because none of these guys, like, there's not one offensive lineman that can make a Pro Bowl on his best day. Maybe Illuminar as an alternate, but Illuminar, who I'm a big fan of, was catching a lot of blocks yesterday, way too deep in the pocket. So this line is going to have to change something. Now, they did sign a center today, so if you guys want to throw that in the comments, there is a new center in-house, I guess, to give JMS some work. It doesn't look good. Let's see what Raymond's got for me. When will they finally fix this O-line? All they do is put Band-Aids on it. It doesn't matter what quarterback's playing. Well, that is a unique comment because, I mean, they have spent, I mean, they drafted Thomas, they drafted Neal, they drafted JMS, you know, they're all busts. You know, Thomas isn't a bust, but he's never on the field. So if you're not on the field, you're not helping anybody. We just got to find guys that want to play and can play, guys that are fast, you know. We're just, again, watch, if you get a chance, watch Brian Baldinger's breakdown of the Commanders. I mean, just abuse them on slants all day long, slanting in the opposite gap. You don't really know what it is. Your A gaps are on each side of the center, and then the B's and the D's are out here, right? So they were taking defensive tackles and stunting them or slanting them into the opposite A gap. If they were lined up in the A gap, which is next to the center, they were slanting and coming across into the other A gap, and we could not pick it up. Poorly executed blocking. And Tiki Barber said it the best. Like, there's just no room for poorly executed plays. You're going to get beat on plays, but they don't look prepared, right? We just don't look overly prepared. I mean, that line, and look, we're all Brasillo fans. Like, he made a big difference in the line. They looked like ass yesterday. They looked like ass. Yes, Raymond, it is coaching. But Brasillo is just really good at what he does. I just don't know if they have the talent or the speed, which goes back to the original question about allocation of money, as they did not bring in one free agent. You know, they just ran out of money because you needed a Debo and you needed Holland. I don't know. I don't know. At some point, you know, maybe you package guys up and you make a trade, or I don't know. I don't know. You needed to bring in a badass guard. You needed to bring a stud to play next to a Luminor that can pancake dudes, right? We don't have anything like that. So yes, Raymond, it is coaching, but I believe in Brasillo, and I think most people do. Appreciate you guys all tapping in. You know, nygiantsrush.com. It has plenty of articles up there. We're going to get Spencer up and running and getting us some new content up there for you guys to read. Check out. And like I said, do me a favor. I don't ask for much. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell a friend. It helps us out. We need to grow. We hit these big stagnant, you know, parts of the season where we're not growing. We need to grow. The Instagram, check it out. Give me, if you want ideas for content, or send them to us. We'll do it, right? We're going to have Paul Dottino on, I think, next Monday. So come and check us out there. We had Chris on from the Giant Topic last week. We'll have him back. What's up, Mr. Thompson? Bang. Good to see you, my friend. Mark has been extremely active on the socials, which I saw, which is always good and always a pleasure. What do you got here, Gino? What's this one? I was front row of this game. Beat JMS and everyone like a drum. JMS not strong. Yeah, I agree. There is something wrong with JMS, whether it's strength or speed or both. He's just not angry enough or something. I don't know. But the whole line is having some issues that Brasillo is going to have to dig deep on, right? Because right now that set lineup without Thomas is pretty bad. And we've talked about it. Like, first round draft pick in 2026 is drafting a left tackle. We can't keep doing this. When are we going to hold these dudes accountable? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's really hurt. We need him on the field. Football players play hurt. And if you needed surgery, I don't know this for a fact, but why did he wait so long? Like, the minute he went down last year, why didn't he get the surgery? Or maybe he did. Someone tell me in the comments. Because it feels like these cats wait until, you know, the new year to have surgery. for all sorts of reasons. Scar tissue and all. I don't want to. They want it to heal on its own. I don't know, man. All I know is Andrew Thomas doesn't play enough football. JMS is not a physical enough center. JMS is, Van Roten's way too slow. He got abused, and everyone now has got tape on it. Can JMS play another position on the offensive line? I mean, no, not necessarily. They drafted him to play center. He's always been a center. But the way his build is, Raymond, is that if you didn't cut him, he would play guard, right? Because that's the body style he has. But I don't see that happening. And I don't know what, again, and I got to go back and watch the tape again, like just to see, like, is there somebody that maybe is out of position or something like that? Because it was bad. The O-line is just terrible, Again, the only thing we can rest on is that it's one game. It is one game, but we need to rebound, and it's going to be really hard to do this week. YouTuber user. My man, the YouTube user, needs to get a name and an icon. But, yeah, we're at that point about Thomas is that he is good, but he's never on the field. You can't get around it, man. You just can't get around it. Thank you for that comment. We can't get around it, man. Like, and again, coming full circle all the way back to something I think, I don't know if it was I think it was Gino way back said about allocation. Like, that's the big thing. I think that they did a great job in the offseason. Great job. We all gave them A's last week. Oh, and by the way, I'm by myself today, which is rare. So I'm only doing like a half hour, 45 minutes, right? And then tomorrow I'll come back on with Sean and we'll chop it up. Hey, if anybody knows anybody that wants to be a producer, I'm looking for a producer. I'm looking for more content creators. So if you're interested in getting involved, let me know. If you're good with clips, if you're good with any type of, if you're looking for anyone that, that can create, Instagram posts, let me know. I need more content, right? Hey, Cold, what's up? I know guys have been requesting for Rush to do more content, that it's only once a week. So we do need to get better at that because I want to grow. I really do, guys. I want you to help me grow, but I understand I need to turn out more stuff for you guys. So I'm trying. What's this, Cold? You should have brought me up. Cold, come on now. Every time I ask you give me the Reggie Bush Heisman because of what happened at the draft party. I stuck you on with the wrong host. So you would have turned me down if I asked anyway. But I love you, dude. All right, what Gino? Gino's got a lot of comments from me today. AT surgery cover was 9 to 12 months. He had a procedure last October when the screws removed in April. So the Giants to know many of them ready for the season. Yeah, great point, right? But here's the thing. You add Hudson. Like, Hudson can't hold a candle to AT. So if he's not going to be ready, you need to replace him with a guy that's, kind of good. That dude got abused yesterday. You can't be a pro football player and get abused like that. I mean, just out of position, slow, nowhere to all of it, bad. I'll say it again as I started the show. I was expecting a different brand of football yesterday. I didn't get it. Nobody on the O-line is good. Where was the smash mouth defense? And how is the red zone non-existence? Which is what we will shift into is the offense with Russell Wilson. Russell had no time, but I asked myself could he have made any plays? And I'm putting it out to you guys. Could he have made any plays? He just looked, under duress and he was throwing stuff up. Could he have done any better? I don't know. On one play that he ran for the first down and then fumbled and recovered it, he had Tracy underneath where he could have threw him the ball and he decided to tuck it and run. Not a bad run, but again, the offense, so the play calling was pretty vanilla. And I think, again, now coming back to what Tiki Barber said, do me a favor and go look up the Tiki Barber comments that just bad, execution on these plays. Like if they're hampered without Andrew Thomas, if you're not at full strength, why are we not overloading and going heavy package on one side? Why not are we chipping with the tight end? Like yesterday should not have gone the way it did. And yes, it's one game, but it's a major weakness, that you just showed the entire NFL. So that offensive line has got to get better and fast. And I don't know if they have the ability to do that. Tell me in the comments what you think. Are we looking for a NE coach? No, new coach? Oh, again, it's not Dable. Dable wasn't the problem yesterday. How do we sign a Debo whose strength is man press and sit him back? Well, that is what, Rob, that's all of what that's one half of the problem is Bowen's just clueless. Ugh. The guy should have just been smashing Jaden Daniels in the face over and over again. And Carter's in coverage and he's playing spy. Like, just do what we do best and go at it. If you lose, you lose doing what you did best. It's crazy. Bowen, again, just has no idea how to get this defense to the next level. And Jesus, Musso is bad. You want to talk about some of you cats out there don't like McFadden. You guys are nuts because that dude was bad. Mark Dable was the problem. He's the head coach. I know, Mark. I get this. Yes, I'll put it up there. Of course, Dable was the problem. He's head coach. I get that. But, I mean, sometimes you just got to do your job. Like, just do your job. I hear you, Mark. He's the ultimate decision maker. I get it. I'm not denying it. But, I mean, dude, Bowen, like, I would have just been like, all right, look, we need to turn this game around. And just for a series, just unleash everything. Where was the NASCAR? Where was the press coverage? Where was the safety blitz? Where was anything? It was just straight defense like it was preseason, and you were unwilling to show anybody what you do. I don't know. How long before Bowen gets fired? I mean, I have no idea. I mean, I'd have fired him last year. What's this, Rob? Just once I want to see Carter or Burns scheme unblocked. Yeah, like, I mean, look, I'd have done everything possible to run NASCAR or stunts and just get Carter going. Get Carter going. And I don't know what happened. Like I said, I don't know. Again, defense was bad, but they only gave up 21 points. However, again, Jaden Daniels is an accurate quarterback. You lose by 20, I don't miss Wink, Raymond, but I understand why you're saying that. He definitely makes you want to miss Wink, no doubt. So, Cold, let me throw Cold's comment up. Where'd your comment go? Why the hell's Capcom plays? He was on the sideline and still couldn't see shit. I don't know, man. Like, so let's talk about Russ for a minute. Like, Russ threw a lot of balls up in the air yesterday. He was getting hit yesterday. He did not look dynamic. He looked old. He looked slow. Tough on a couple plays, right? Look tough on some fourth downs. But, dude, the only guy on the offense that looked like they could play, two guys that could play, were Scatterboo and Neighbors. Scatterboo is a great find. Not only did he knock a linebacker on his ass, but then he went down and took a screen play or maybe like a low end flat route. I think it was more like a screen, and he bopped three dudes right coming down like just bop bop bop, making it happen. So Scatterboo was fun. Neighbors doing what Neighbors does, like shitty pass, coming back for it, And, I'm sure he was heated with Dabes because he probably was like, what are you doing? Go back to running the plays. This Kafka guy don't get it. We couldn't even get Tracy going because the offensive line was just garbage. You know what, Gino? I'm going to put that up too. That's a good point. Wan'Dale, as much as, I don't love the guy because of his height, and I really think he needs to have a breakout year. He played his balls off. He played hard. And that's a good point. It's a good point right here. Aaron Rodgers is old and didn't look at yesterday. Why didn't Carter play more? All right, so that's two things that wrapped up in one. One is Aaron Rodgers didn't look old and decrepit like Russ did yesterday, right? And I don't know. Is the Steelers' offensive line that much better than the Giants? I don't know. I'd have to go look that up. I'm sure one of you guys could fire that in the chat. But Rodgers never looks old like that. Where again, Russ looked old and slow. He was getting hit a lot, and you're all clamoring for Dart, and I would too. And I'm a Dart fan way before all you folks were, and I just don't think he's ready yet. I need his offensive line needs to get solidified before I throw the kid out there, so we don't get him abused. We knew this first half of the season was going to be tough, but the first half was winnable. So, yeah, Gino, you are right. He played well. There are many instances of bad choices. I can name a few. Hiring Boeing, making Dart QB2, and putting yourself under unnecessary pressure. Yeah, it's fine. I don't think making Dart the backup quarterback is as big a deal as, we make it out to be. But, the Bowen thing definitely is a thorn in our side on a regular basis. Russ just did not look good yesterday on the offensive side. Steelers O-line is ranked 21st. All right. What's ours ranked, Cold? Probably 30. Yeah, and just, I don't know. It's the Andrew Thomas thing is really is really hurting us where we can't get any offense going. So to answer your original question, Cold, is why didn't Carter play more? He had Carter off the field, and I think Burns in some situations that never should have happened. I mean, they should have just let Carter go. He's a first-round draft pick. Wind him up. Let him go. Yes, Lopez. Unleash Carter. Let's put that up there because it's a good comment. Unleash Carter. No, let's make him a spy. What the F are we doing? Exactly. What are we doing? I mean, you know what? Let me look. These stats on both sides of the ball isn't great. It wasn't like they did anything. I mean, what do you do? Make one nice pass to McLaren, one nice pass, Debo with two nice runs and a pass to Ertz. I mean, what else did he do? He did not do anything this area. So Daniels is 19 for 30. Is anybody sweating that? For 233 yards. He got sacked 3 times. If you let Carter go, maybe you have 5 sacks. Maybe something happens. Dexter, not his best game. Let me look into tackles. So the crazy thing is this says Bobby Okereke had 16 tackles. That is a lot of tackles. I'm going to say that again. Bobby Okereke had 16 tackles. That's a lot of tackles for a middle linebacker. You don't usually see that anymore. And then Holland had 8. Adebo had 7. Burns had 6. Newman had 6. Phillips had 4. And so on. Look, Bellin was playing in the box yesterday. That is also a problem. Now, again, I'm assuming that you're trying to figure something out without McFadden. You don't realize how you miss somebody till they're gone. So all you crazy people telling us he's no good. Well, if you're stuck with Musso for a couple of weeks, you're in trouble. Hopefully, maybe he figures it out. Yeah, Lopez, 100%. Throw it up there. Carter should have been abusing Daniels. Nope. They decided to make him a spy. First-round draft pick, best defensive player in the draft. You make him a spy. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't make this stuff up. He's a second-year quarterback. Let the first-round draft pick go after him. Let him make mistakes. Raymond wants to know if we wait for Andrew Thomas to start Dart. I mean, you could. I just, man, until you get a really good offensive line or you buy some players, I don't know. I just don't know if you throw Dart out there because he's going to want to be a hero and he's going to get hurt. Yeah, you got to watch the dude. The dude, he drops shoulders. He's running on guys. I don't know. I don't think you want that. Cold is talking about coaching. Who are the leaders on this team that hold each other accountable? Do they have any pride? I do think Burns is a guy that would hold people accountable. I think Dexter holds people accountable on the offense. I don't know. I don't know on the offense. You know, I think Illuminor seems to be a leader. So it could be him. But, you know, again, at the end of the day, like Carter not aggressive, playing a lot of zone. When we just hired a Debo to run a different defense, or signed to Debo to run a different type of defense. But let's, you know, and again, yes, Scatterboo was a bright spot. Neighbors, but what happened to the red zone offense? Somebody, please, red zone offense. Like, goodness, it was terrible. We threw a pass to an offensive lineman. This can't be it, folks. It can't be. It can't be. Micah Parsons wasn't spying. Yeah, I mean, it's a great point, Greg. Micah Parsons ain't spying nobody. He's putting his helmet under your chin strap. Boom. I don't know, man. So, yeah, coordinators, Kafka sucks if he was calling the plays. And Bowens, once again, just lost. So, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you folks on that part. But definitely, I get that Brian Daboll's the head coach. But, man, you gotta know your dogs. If you're Bowen, you gotta know your dogs. You got to do something to get Dexter going. You got to know that you got a rookie in there, and it's going to be a curve. So, you know what? Like, let him get his licks in. Let him get him, you know, his chops in and get him going. Yeah, I didn't see Burns look like a lost puppy when Bowen is playing him at safety. Talking about that one, you're gonna have to like send me a clip or something, Rob. I didn't see that. I might have missed that, but I did see Dane Belton in the box, and Dane Belton, who I like, and he is our third safety, is not an in the box safety. I don't know why they're employing him in the box like that. That's just annoying as heck. Again, maybe it turns out he's good at it, but right now, like, we just lost McFadden. Somebody give me an update. We lost McFadden, and Mushu was, I don't know, non-existent. That's probably why Okereke had 16 tackles. And by the way, don't let anybody sleep on Bobby Wagner. That cat can still play. Wan'Dale Robinson, 2 catches for 41 yards. I have no idea what Gunner was doing yesterday because, realistically, he only had 3 punts, but, he's insane. Gano bailing us out with 2 not great punts from Gillen yesterday. Yeah, I'm calling him Mushu. The linebacker, Cole, 53 from UCLA. I'm calling him Mushu. I know it's Musau, but I'm calling him Mushu. Just looking here what else I could bring to the table here. I mean, how many yards did Debo have? I mean, I don't know. Just yesterday, just sucked all the way around. Exactly. You knew what I was talking about, Cole. Of course you did. Dude was bad. Bad. Every time they slowed down the play, I was like, oh, man, he's 2 gaps over. He's in the wrong spot. What is he doing? Yeah, we got some problems. Again, I don't think it'll be on the defense if Bowen figures it out. But, I mean, man, we got to score points. And Theo, someone said, Nicole, about Theo dropping the ball. I got to look up how many he dropped yesterday. Theo Johnson, one catch for 5 yards, and he had 3 targets. And it's, again, not great. Not great. Neighbors had 12 targets and only caught 5. I'm looking. Scatterboo had 5 Wait, Scatterboo had 5 targets and only caught 2? I don't remember that. And then listen, Slayton had a target and the dude face masked him and didn't get a call. Nobody was complaining about that. Dude literally got face masked and nobody on national TV saw. Crazy. Yeah, Raymond, Theo is known to drop balls. It is definitely in his DNA. No doubt. What else did I tell you guys? Fantasy football is up and running. The Ballers League. If you're in the league, good luck. Definitely talk some smack on Spartan Mike. So none of those guys are around. I just let them go do whatever they wanted to do because they're as frustrated as I am. I'm working on the grand prize for those folks. Got that. I'm almost pretty. I'm bad English. I'm pretty certain that I'll have Tino on next week. We could ask him a bunch of questions. Again, he's a company man, but that's okay. We can use some positivity out of the Giants. Slayton said that today in his press conference. yeah. I'm like, I don't know, Lopez. Like, literally getting face masked. And they're like, well, I didn't see that. I'm like, how could you not see that? I mean, give me a break. Cold. Such interesting comment. Force the ball to Neighbors too much, and we can't establish the run at all. I'm kind of 50-50 on that one. I thought in the beginning, Neighbors was getting doubled and tripled, so they started to go to, the outside with Robin and excuse me, and Theo. Like I don't know. I don't know if they were forced it to him in the beginning of the game because it felt like they were going other places. But that's just me. Because remember, the guy went 17 for 37. He only got sacked twice, by the way. He threw a lot of balls away. Yes. What we got here? Did you notice how the Commanders didn't respect the play action at all? Yeah, I did. That's a little. One is, your offensive line's not selling it. Maybe they're popping out of their stance too quickly. Doesn't look like a run, right? It's another run. You got to kind of fire out, and I don't know. The offensive line is definitely a mess, no doubt about it. So I appreciate everybody's take there. It's again, I don't know who needs carries, but again, Tracy's got to get going. So they're gonna have to pound that rock, early to get him going. Because you're gonna need Tracy to win games the way we're throwing the ball. If not, it's gonna be Dart coming in real fast. And I don't really think we want that. I just don't. That's just me. I will say this because when you're by yourself, you get to pretty much do anything you want. So I'm going to do this.
It's good to be the king.
Bang. Yes, it is. All right. So, folks, I am looking in. I want to take a couple more questions and comments. And I'm going to bounce, dude. I'm going to bounce. I've already been on for 45 minutes, later than I expected. But, again, got no co-host, so we're flying by myself. Did you notice how the Commanders didn't respect the play action at all? So, Cole, right before you got on, I talked about it. But, we can chat about it again, Cole, because your point is well taken. So, if you listen to Baldy, Cole, check out what he said. You literally can see how fast the Commanders' defensive line is and how slow our line is. And they were beating them across their face almost every time, going from A gap to B gap on the other side of the ball. So instead of shooting out here, everybody was slanting. And they were just lunging and reaching and missing. So, sorry about that, Cole, if you didn't get notification. I don't know what's up with that. My bad. I wasn't sure if I was going to go on or not. I usually, email, I usually tweet out that, we're going live. So I'm flying a little solo. Yeah, no athletes on the offensive line at all. There just isn't. So they're going to have to figure something out because there's no way they could just go at it the same way. It's like throwing away the season. You know, they did sign, again, Cole, you were a couple minutes late when we started up. They did sign a center today. I don't know if the guy's any good. Somebody I'm sure can find it and throw it in the chat, you know. But we should be known for defense. Known for defense. And we had our number 1 draft pick spying. I want to scream. I want to scream. Like, okay, so we don't have the horses to win the game. Go smack Jane Daniels around and maybe get a pick or something. Anyway, what else can I tell you guys? We're going to probably do a show tomorrow. Not 100% certain. I will have Dottino on, pretty sure. I'm going to have him on Monday. And I had a big surprise for you guys, but my sponsor fell through. So I'm looking for a sponsor. If you know someone that would like to sponsor the Rush podcast, let me know because I got a special show lined up for you guys, but I had a sponsor fall through. So any help from the followers, bang, would go a long way. I'm going to, let's see. We heard how scary his pass rush was going to be, and we didn't see Jack yesterday. Of course, right? It's what happens when Dexter Lawrence checks out. Again, he's got a lot going on at home, having a baby. And Carter's playing spy. So, and then McFadden gets hurt. So, none of it's good. Bigger thing problem is you were down in the red zone, 8 plays, can't score. You know, you try to give it to Scadaboo. He runs right smack into his tackle. Not good. Throw the ball to a tackle. Not good. You know, couple missed passes from Russ. Just, I don't know, like we need some smash mouth runners. And we got to throw the ball, get it in the receiver's hands. Yeah, no doubt, Cole. His head was somewhere else because he's having a baby. So Dex probably was thinking about other things. All right. Believe it or not, it's almost been an hour me rambling and rocking with this. You guys are always great. Look, the Giants do need to make a comeback. I don't know if it's possible that they can beat Dallas in Dallas. I don't know. Dallas is probably going to be pretty chippy after losing to Philadelphia in Philadelphia. So we're going to have to see, and then Kansas City. So somewhere in here, we're going to have to do something to not be 0-4. That would be bad. So, you know, again, we're expecting a different brand of football. We didn't get it. The red zone was just, I don't know, why there was no bring in double tight ends, throw to Theo, throw to Bellinger, right? Why there was no jet sweeps and trying to get Tracy out on the perimeter. None of it makes sense right now. So hang in there tight. Appreciate all you guys. I'll text you, not text, but I'll tweet out tomorrow if we're going to do another show. But yeah, cool. All good stuff. Hopefully we have a big rebound this week and make it presentable. It's going to have to start with the defense, right? The defense can carry the offense. Russ just needs to do his job. Because if not, you're looking at Dart by week 6. And I just don't think you guys want that right now. So for all the guys at Rush, bang. Thanks for hanging out. And we will see you soon.